Now at 6:30, confusion and fear as a midnight deadline approaches for federal workers to justify their job to the Trump administration.
This is a violation of labor contracts, labor law.
What agencies are saying as thousands of federal workers face losing their jobs. Plus, world leaders mark 3 years since Russia invaded Ukraine.
This year should be the year of the beginning of a real, lasting peace.
This as Europe worries about a reversal in U.S. policy toward the war. The latest from a key meeting in Washington and what this could mean for peace in the region. And in sports, the Ohio men's basketball snaps the longest win streak in the country. A full recap of the Bobcats' major upset over Akron. Newswatch starts right now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Reese Thompson. The Athens County Sheriff's Department is looking for any information about 2 missing children, Braden Rose, age 13, and Kia Roth, age 17. I'm Morgan Anderson. The boys were last seen Sunday during a church outing in Nelsonville around 10:40 a.m. Rose is about 125 pounds and 5'2" with brown hair and brown eyes. He's from the Logan area. Roth is about 145 pounds and 5'8" with blonde hair and green eyes. He's also from the Nelsonville area. If you have any information about the boys' location, you can call the number on your screen. We have a lot to get to tonight, but first we're going to turn it over to forecaster Calvin Stebbins. Calvin, we saw the lows of 50s today here in Athens, but what could we see tonight?
Okay, yeah, so tonight we are going to see a nice overnight cool into the high to mid 30s. But if we take a little bit more of a look locally, 52 in Lancaster, 54 in Zanesville. But then as we head into the Ohio River Valley, we'll see temperatures a little bit warmer with 60 in Huntington and 55 in Parkersburg. This is due to all this cloud cover that has really been sticking over our area, and it's been mixed in with a warm front, which is also allowing temperatures to exceed. Currently in Athens, it is 55 degrees with clear skies, and we're going to see a little bit of a change tonight as we are going to have a rain shower run into our area with a 30% chance and a low of 37. Stay tuned to see my full weather forecast.
The Trump administration's efforts to shut down the U.S. Agency for International Development could hurt Ohio farmers. That's because USAID had contracts with 6 Ohio farmers at least. The agency bought more than 1 million metric tons of food from farmers in 2023. But that's not the only harm. USAID also funded research at Ohio universities and other higher education institutes. The lack of funding could fault results that farmers could utilize. What did you do last week? This question, asked in an email from the Trump administration's Office of Personnel Management to every federal employee this weekend, ignited a firestorm of contradiction and confusion across the government. Laura Aguirre has the details.
It's just chaos.
This Seattle-based TSA agent is speaking out anonymously, fearing reprisals, one of hundreds of thousands of federal employees who received this email from the Office of Personnel Management demanding that they reply with 5 job accomplishments from the past week by midnight. Or, as Elon Musk posted on X soon after, failure to respond would be considered a resignation.
And you're not going to get unemployment because if it's a resignation, then you can't apply for unemployment.
The Saturday email sparked confusion through several chains of command, leaders at multiple federal agencies directing their staffers not to reply, pending further guidance, hinting of a potential authority rift between newly confirmed agency chiefs and Musk. President Donald Trump weighing in today during an Oval Office sit-down with the French president.
If you don't answer, like you're sort of semi-fired or you're fired, because a lot of people are not answering because they don't even exist.
This is a violation of labor contracts, labor law.
A group of federal unions filed an updated legal challenge in California Sunday to include the OPM email's demand, in addition to their previous filings related to the mass firing of workers. A hearing on that temporary restraining order is set for Thursday. The Transportation Department did order its employees to respond by OPM's deadline, including the FAA's air traffic controllers, many who, union leaders say, are working mandatory overtime 6 days a week. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Athens City Council is set to discuss a resolution calling for better health care access for transgender individuals.
This comes as state and federal lawmakers come after gender-affirming care.
Newswatch reporter Jack Green is live outside City Hall with more. Jack, what exactly does this resolution say?
Morgan and Reese, this resolution calls for the city to become a safe haven for individuals seeking and providing gender-affirming health care. The resolution was put forward by the Ohio University Young Democratic Socialists. Council members Micah McCary and Michael Wood worked with the group on drafting the proposal. It calls for the city to support and encourage access to all evidence-based care that promotes an individual's physical and mental health. This follows a string of state laws restricting gender-affirming care for minors and threatening legal action for the physicians who provide it. City Council President Sam Krause says that by passing this resolution, the city is reaffirming its support for all people. Morning, Reese. I anticipate some lively conversation tonight. Krause says that members of the OU Young Democratic Socialist group will be here in attendance tonight. This, while some council members are saying they're still weighing the possibilities with this ordinance. Now, this meeting is going to be one to watch for sure, so be sure to stay connected for the latest from City Hall on WOUB on air and online. Reporting live for Newswatch, I'm Jack Green in Athens.
Thanks, Jack. As always, rush hour on East State Street in Athens may be getting better thanks to a new city project. The new tech will improve traffic signals along East State Street to help traffic flow better between May Street and the market near Lowe's. The project is in the design phase, but it will adjust the timing of the traffic signals to meet the demands of heavy traffic in busy intersections. Drivers can expect minimal impact to their commutes as there will be no flagging during peak traffic hours. The project is set to be completed this fall. Local faculty members for school members worry a new Ohio law will force schools to put some students at risk. House Bill 8, better known as the Parents' Bill of Rights, requires teachers to alert parents if there are any changes in a child's mental, physical, or emotional health. This includes if they have started identifying as transgender. The bill also doesn't allow teachers to encourage students to keep information from their parents. Critics say the bill could risk students' safety. A faculty member at Athens High School says he knows students who will be put at risk. The bill goes into effect on April 8th.
Vivek Ramaswamy is running for Ohio governor in 2026. He announced his decision about an hour ago at his campaign rally in Cincinnati. Ramaswamy says he will help Ohio enter its new golden age. He also outlined what he wants to achieve in office, including increasing the state's economy and adding work requirements to Medicare and Medicaid to address the worker shortage. Among other things, the Cincinnati native stepped down from the Federal Department of Government Efficiency and was passed over to replace Vice President J.D. Vance in the Senate. The U.S. Supreme Court won't hear arguments from two appeals looking to get rid of protest buffer zones around abortion clinics. The buffer zones prevent protesters from getting within a certain distance of the clinics. The move will leave those restrictions in place for now. Lower courts had tossed out both appeals based on a decision made in 2000 from the Supreme Court that upheld a similar buffer law in Colorado. Conservative Justices Alito and Thomas dissented, saying they would have heard the cases. The U.S. joined Russia Monday to vote against a United Nations General Assembly resolution condemning Russia's war against Ukraine, going against their long-standing European allies.
This comes as the president of France met with President Trump today to discuss peace in the Russia-Ukraine war 3 years after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The U.S. introduced a different resolution that did not call Russia the aggressor or confirm Ukraine's territorial integrity. Several amendments were made to that resolution, strengthening the language against Russia before it was voted on.
French President Emmanuel Macron says the U.S.'s involvement can lead to a truce.
This year should be the year of the beginning of a real, lasting peace. Putin will not give us this peace. He will not give it to us in exchange for something. We must gain peace with strength, wisdom, and unity.
Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky also said Sunday he is ready to resign as Ukraine's leader if Ukraine is granted NATO membership. Coming up, it's been 1 week since the deadly floods that hit Appalachia, how Kentucky is repairing in the aftermath.
And measles cases are on the rise. We have tips to stay safe.
It's been a beautiful day here in Athens, but will conditions continue into the rest of the week? Stay tuned to see my full weather forecast.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, bushels of treasures are cropping up in Iowa.
This particular scene is like an explosion. I mean, all of these elements are fantastic.
Go ahead and keep talking, Robert, because I think I lost my ability of speech right now.
That's a lot. I've always thought it was neat.
It's Antiques Roadshow, next time from Living History Farms.
Tonight at 8 on WOUB.
In this episode, Deborah Messing and Melanie Linsky uncovered their roots.
This has never been discussed in your family.
No.
Your great-grandfather was using an alias.
Dodgy. I want to know everything about him. They're leaving everything that they've ever known and going to a new country.
Meet your DNA cousin.
Really?
Yes.
What? How surprised were you when this was Leo?
I couldn't believe it.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
WOUB is recognizing members of our Cornerstone Society. The Cornerstone Society is a group that wants to ensure the future of public media in our region. It includes people across our area who value news, entertainment, and cultural programming, as well as the educational services WOUB provides. Also included are graduates of Ohio University who took part in the WOUB Student Professional Development Program. Thanks to the Cornerstone Society for their generous support. To learn how you can be involved, email woub@woub.org.
The death toll rises in the aftermath of severe flooding in Kentucky. Now at 22, the death toll includes 2 women, one from Morgan County and another from Warren County, and 3 men from Caldwell, Pike, and other Ohio counties.
No names have been released. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear announced the increase in deaths in their effect.
This has been a painful, difficult disaster. There aren't many natural disasters where we lose 22 people.
Kentucky is asking all flood survivors with immediate non-life-threatening needs, such as limited drinking water, unstable electricity, and disabilities or medical needs, to fill out a Kentucky Rapid Needs Assessment, or you can call the number on your screen. For more updates, we want to bring back forecaster Calvin Stebbins. It has been an absolutely beautiful day outside. I finally got to go outside with a lighter jacket, which was a nice change.
Right? No kidding. Calvin, you bring us more. This forecast, is it staying? Is it leaving?
So we're really going to see this forecast really stay in our area for most of tonight and then heading into the rest of the week. We do have a high pressure system that is really going to sit stationary over the Kentucky areas and then moving a little bit more north. But if we take a look at our radar, we can see a little bit of a few pop-up showers kind of move into our area, but nothing really to be too concerned about. It will really affect the morning hours. Currently in Athens, it is 55 degrees with clear skies. Those conditions are really not going to last, though, as tonight we will see a low of 37, but we will have a 30% chance of showers, and that's going to continue into tomorrow morning, as those showers are really going to stick around. But as the day continues, the chance of showers will go away. We'll see a high of 55 degrees and a low of 32. If we take a closer look into tomorrow, we can start to see a low pressure system move its way just north, but it's still going to bring a little bit of rain in our area. But for most of the day, it's going to be a lot clearer. But then heading into tomorrow night, we do have 2 high pressure systems just north and south of us, but they're not really going to keep much, as we do have another low coming just right through them, and it's going to push its way through heading into Wednesday. Luckily on Wednesday, though, we are going to see another warm front move into the area, but in the morning hours, we are going to see a lot more rainy conditions and a chance of a wintry mix and a snow. Heading into the rest of the week, Tuesday, 20% chance of showers, 55 being your high with a low of 32. Wednesday, 59 being your high low of 44, and we're going to see some clouds start to form, and then that's going to last into Thursday due to another low pressure system moving into our area. 50% chance of rain showers with a high of 50 and a low of 30. And then Friday, partly sunny skies due to this low pressure system moving out of our area. 48 will be your high with a low of 37. And then another low pressure system is going to move into our area heading into the early weekend at Saturday with mostly cloudy skies with 50 being our high with a low of 26. And those warm temperatures are going to drop a little bit heading into Sunday with partly sunny skies, high of 41. And then the overnight low will be at 23. And then heading into Monday, partly sunny skies. And we are going to see another high pressure system move into our area, which is why we're not seeing, for most of the weekend, we're not going to see any rain chances for the entire weekend due to another high pressure system. But heading into early next week, 48 will be our high on Monday with a low of 24. And I'm going to send it back to Morgan and at the desk.
The Pope remains in the hospital under critical condition today, although the Vatican says he is slightly improving. This comes after tests showed mild signs of kidney failure, but that's not a concern right now. The Pope has been hospitalized since February 14th with pneumonia in both lungs. He is currently on oxygen. The Vatican says he received the Eucharist, also known as Holy Communion, this morning before returning to work in the afternoon. Measles cases continue to grow, with illnesses reported in 8 states this year. Texas has about 90 cases in 2025 alone. Mandy Gaither has answers to some of the most common questions about measles.
It's one of the world's most contagious infectious diseases, and it's important to know the warning signs of measles. Early on, it can mimic a respiratory illness, causing a cough, red eyes, and extreme congestion. There may also be a high fever that may spike to more than 104 degrees. Typical measles cases also have a red splotchy rash that develops 3 to 5 days after symptoms start, and tiny white spots inside the mouth 2 to 3 days before symptoms begin. Experts say vaccination is the best protection.
For the vast majority of people, if you've gotten your measles shots, you should be protected. It should be something that works for life.
The vaccine is typically given to young children. Officials say the first dose, given between 12 and 15 months, is 93% effective against measles. The second dose, given around age 4 to 6, boosts that efficacy to 97%.
If you are living in an area where measles is circulating and you're worried about that, getting that second shot earlier is fine.
Despite the recent outbreak, experts say measles isn't becoming more severe. Before mass vaccinations, improvements in medical care were already lowering the death rate. However, before 1963, when vaccines weren't routinely given, there were between 400 and 500 people dying every year in the U.S. from measles. In 2015, there was 1 death, the most recent in the U.S. from the illness.
That's really what this vaccine is designed to prevent.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The current U.S. egg shortage is forcing businesses to look for supplies overseas. Turkey is set to export 420 million eggs to the U.S. this year, which is record-breaking. However, experts warn this won't ease America's shortage, especially if the bird flu continues to kill off birds at its current rate. The disease has claimed more than 140 million birds in the U.S. since 2022, with 17 million in just November and December alone. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the price of a dozen large grade A eggs recently hit an average of just under $5. Prices are expected to rise another 20% this year. What to reach for when making a purchase? Your debit or credit card. And although they may look the same, there are pros and cons to both methods of payment. Michael Yoshida joins us with what you should know the next time you're trying to figure out which card to tap at checkout.
To debit or credit? That's the question.
I think it just depends on your relationship with money and your budget, whether or not you're in debt.
A debit card can come in handy if you prefer to pay with cash or don't want to overspend, such as when you want to avoid interest charges, when you need cash from an ATM, and a big one, when you're trying to stay out of debt, as a debit card will only let you spend money you already have.
It's like the cash stuffing method, where if you only put cash in envelopes and you're only allowed to spend that cash, that's the essential equivalent of using a debit card.
Credit cards, on the other hand, are more flexible, allowing you to borrow money to make purchases. They're also useful for earning rewards and points, building your credit score, shopping online with fraud protections debit cards may not have, and booking hotels or rental cars, which may require security deposits.
If you have a credit card, that hold only goes on your line of credit. If you're using a debit card, that means you have to already have that deposit amount in your account.
So what's the bottom line? Know your spending habits and what you want out of each card.
It depends on how you manage your money and also what you're buying. For big purchases, I often err on the side of credit cards for those protections. But debit cards could be really great for those everyday small purchases because the money's taken directly out of your checking account.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Mac leading Akron over the weekend and pulled off the big upset. See the highlights from Ohio's best win of the year, plus hear from head coach Jeff Bowles about the victory after the break.
The gentle storytelling and picturesque setting of All Creatures Great and Small on Masterpiece continue to enchant PBS viewers. In a new special, we'll discuss the warm, folksy wisdom found in these timeless tales. We'll hear from the cast and creators of the show, and also local residents, including the daughter and son of the author. Join us for All Creatures Great and Small, the wisdom of the Dales.
Sunday at 8:30 on WOUB.
Let's start at the beginning, shall we? I can't wait.
Back in the game, bringing the thunder, I'm making waves.
People will be watching your every move. I can handle it. Let's go.
So, what's your secret?
Things are starting to move in the right direction.
Tell us everything.
Are you ready for more? Just getting started, locked on the target. Are you ready for more?
No one is going to tell me who I can or can't be. Troubles, honey? Like you wouldn't believe. Hop in. Every day, I see the evidence of all that love can do.
Whatever happens, we'll be together.
There's nowhere else in the world I'd rather be. This was perfect.
When I'm writing, it's a feeling that it's almost out of body. I have no concept of time or space. I'm just rolling.
Today, I am riding with Donnie Seal Sr.
We're going to ride from St. Louis to Chicago. After my surgery, it was not something I would even dream of. I've had some medical issues, and biking has turned it around. It's going to be a tough 4 days, man.
Let's do it.
Tonight at 10 on WOUB.
I'm Evan Johnson with sports, and it was a great weekend to be an Ohio Bobcat fan. Across 5 sports, Ohio won 8 of their 10 games. The biggest of those wins came on Saturday night when the men's basketball team got a huge upset over Akron. The Zips held the longest winning streak in the country of 14 games. They also came in with an undefeated record in the MAC. The fans brought the energy in the convo with over 6,000 in attendance. From tip-off, the Bobcats dominated. They got an early lead and they never gave it away. Ohio got contributions from the entire team, but the leading scorer was guard Jackson Pavletsky, who ended the night with 21 points. It wasn't just the offense that was excelling, it was also the defense that stepped up. Freshman Elijah Elliott had one of his best performances on both sides and was constantly making the hustle plays on defense. He helped the Bobcats hold Akron to their lowest point total since December 20th. Ohio got the victory 84-67, and head coach Jeff Bowles says he likes the way his team played hard for all 40 minutes.
And even starting the second half, I thought we did a really good job. I think we got a 13-4 run, made them call timeout, and set the tone for the second half as well. But multiple guys contributed. I thought our defensive intensity was really good. Give our guys credit for keep battling, playing a complete 40 minutes.
Ohio women's basketball also picked up a big MAC win on Saturday. They have now won back-to-back games for the first time all season, as they also took down Akron. The Bobcats trailed for most of the first half, but a strong offensive performance by senior Aaliyah McWhorter is what Ohio needed to take over. She was a perfect 6 for 6 from the field as she put up a season-high 18 points. She also grabbed 5 steals, but that wasn't the only one, as 3 Bobcats had double-digit points. The Bobcats are currently in 9th in the MAC and 2 games behind a conference tournament spot. With a look at the remaining schedule, Ohio only has 4 chances left to add wins, including a big rematch with Miami on senior night. Ohio softball also had a successful weekend as they went perfect, picking up 4 wins in the Low Country Classic to improve their record to 9-4. Their best performance was against the College of Charleston, where they got the victory in just 6 innings. The offense exploded in the 6th as they scored 10 runs. Maddie Wilcox had a great day at the plate, going 3 for 3 with 4 RBIs. The Bobcats will play again on Friday in the Purple and Gold Challenge. Now, the high school basketball playoffs are in full swing, and one TVC girls basketball team picked up some hardware over the weekend. The Waterford girls won their 2nd straight district title. They won against 4-seed Portsmouth Notre Dame, and the Wildcats started out in a full-court press and was able to force a total of 28 turnovers in the game. Those defensive efforts resulted in points, which allowed Waterford to take an early lead. They never allowed the Titans to make a comeback, thanks to senior Avery Wagner, as she put up 21 points en route to a 59-29 victory. Waterford will face the 1 seed on Thursday. They will go against the Fisher Catholic Irish in the regional semifinals. To keep up with all Ohio athletics and the TVC in the high school basketball playoffs, visit woub.org/sports. That's all from sports.
There are thousands of discoveries. Wow.
This is huge.
This is really exciting.
This limestone otherworld is unlike anywhere else in Ireland.
The bridge collapsed. Never seen anything of that magnitude before.
People are sometimes unknowingly trafficking in looted art. It's the greatest art scandal of the 20th century.
Wednesday on WOUB.
In the 4th year of Changing Planet, we are focusing on 2 of the largest river restoration projects ever attempted.
What?
One urban.
The River Seine is undergoing a colossal detox.
One wild and remote.
These dams will be completely gone within a matter of months.
Everyone knows there's hope. It's big. These are stories of ambition and action for our changing planet.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
To what do I owe this pleasure?
It's showtime!
It's what I love doing.
Your love for your little boy shines out.
This story is mine, and no one is going to tell it but me.
We need an undercover operation. Starting to enjoy myself.
That is absolutely perfect.
So we are going to see a nice warm up for the rest of the week, and that is due to some high pressure systems moving into our area. And we are going to see this continue into all of next week.
Thanks, Calvin. And that does it for our forecast, but also our broadcast for this evening. Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned to the PBS NewsHour coming up next. Have a great night.